Welcome to our second show of 2023. It is going to be a great year filled with amazing interviews with authors worldwide. And for today's show, we are traveling to Scottsdale, Arizona to sit down with Jennifer, who has a great book ahead. This is Writing with Authors, and my name is Vincent A. Lancy. I hope you all have a successful and happy year ahead. Be sure to catch up on last week's show if you missed the season opener with former Green Beret and hotelier Larry Broughton, as he gave us a value-filled premiere, and I expect today to be the same. We are going to dive into the book, The Renaissance Real Estate Agent, Unleash the Art of Systems in Your Real Estate Business with author Jennifer Weiner. Jennifer, it's great to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me on this nice, cold, dark, rainy morning. So there's no other better thing to do than to, talk about books.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the time. Let's preview this book a bit, and then we'll have Jennifer come back on. Today's real estate industry is mirroring the breakdown that occurred when the Black Death decimated the global population and led to a rebirth of innovation, art, and creativity known as the Renaissance. Just as leaders like Leonardo da Vinci harnessed the power of systems to achieve the greatest portfolio of human achievement in history, so can the leaders of today. Real estate is repositioning for a new normal as the world recovers from COVID-19. The growth of AI, the expansion of Wall Street and real estate markets, and of course, the ever-changing consumer. We have a choice: evolve with the industry and reinvent ourselves, or cling to the old ways of doing business and slowly die. This book promises to show you that your career in real estate can be as big as you want it to be by unlocking your potential and unleashing the art of systems to create the life you have always dreamed of living. Jennifer, I'm excited to learn all about this book. Did you always want to become a published author, or what led you to write this?
Yeah, well, actually, I would say, I don't know about author, but I was growing up in school, I was bullied, and books were my friends before humans were. And I always loved how you got to like either learn new things. I was learning about world religions in the third grade, or, take you to a place in time, like you're in fiction and you're fighting dragons or whatever it is. So I did have a broker, and I was talking about writing a book for a very long time. And one of my old brokers said, either shut up or write the book. So I shut up and I wrote the book.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm sure it's going to help all of these real estate agents out there, realtors out there. Was there a book that you relied on when you were starting out, or is this kind of filling a need, something that you needed when you were starting out?
I have lots of books. Sometimes my appetite is more than what I can actually digest. But I think last year I probably bought a few hundred books. I gifted over 10,000, but it was definitely, I had about 5 books on Leonardo da Vinci. I'm a little obsessed with him. But as I was really getting into like European history and the Renaissance, and I was discovering so many patterns that exist today. And I was connecting them to what was going on then is also going on today, especially in the real estate industry, but this is not really real estate specific. With the, information age we're in, it's like, 10 years ago, if you wanted to know something, you might have to dig. 20 years ago, you might have to go to the library. But now with the amount of videos and we don't even have to go to YouTube anymore. We can go to TikTok and digest them in 30 seconds. So with the amount of information that's coming out here, in the digital age we're in, and not just that, but human, cognition. And it's so much more now, mastering your emotions, having systems, being focused, because it's very easy to get lost in this Renaissance shuffle. There's so much information, and information without learning or implementation is just information. So yeah, that's kind of what brought me here today. I have been, have a love affair with real estate for 19 years now. And I'm very fortunate to be a part at it's early this morning. I have my coffee, but I'm very,
yeah.
I'm very fortunate to be at a part of my career where I'm able to give back to the industry, give back to my team, give back to my network, give back to the industry, and, have something, because I'm such a lover of like legacy, what we leave behind. So it's exciting.
Yes, well, I admire that about you. It is all about giving back and doing some purpose-driven work, no matter which field we're in. We can find a way to give back to our peers. And now through your book, you're doing that, of course, with the guidance and mentorship provided, but now with the book. Let's talk more about this book.
Yes. Well, okay. So it's the Renaissance Real Estate Agent, and who Renaissance real estate agents are, I talk about in the book. The Unleash the Art of Systems in Your Business. And it's your real estate business, but really you could take this book to any entrepreneur business. Things like, there should be a system for everything, both personal, professional. I really talk about building your life around the spiritual wheel. So you have spiritual love, friends, money, work, and you rate yourself where you're at. Action blocking for your most important activities, systems for sales, systems for marketing, systems for recruiting, the big pillars in any business, systems in finance. Because the big thing about real estate agents, and you might be shocked, they might know what 3% is. But if you talk about profit margins on the P&L, what their dollar per hour is, what their most important KPIs are, most agents don't know, and they don't teach this stuff to you in school. So I really, with finance, break down the systems and the numbers that they need to know the most. So that when it's never a balanced life. It's never, okay, everything's balanced, guys. We can go ahead and, take a break. It's all a balancing act and integration. But it's so important to have plans, especially something so as important as your time, because that's one thing that nobody has more of, right? I don't have more than 24 hours a day, nor do you. But how do we make those 24 hours a day, 2,400 hours a day, 24,000 hours a day, and really scaling your business?
Time is our most valuable asset. You're helping people save more of that. And I look forward to seeing all of the success that comes from this book. I did my research behind it. I look forward to seeing more great reviews come your way. I know how much work you put in it from the behind the scenes, but I'd like to ask something to pay forward to this community of writers here, some writing advice for everyone out there.
I'm going to have to pitch another book here, and I don't get any money off this, but a book called The Artist's Way. And it's about unlocking creativity. And really, one of the biggest takeaways of that book is the morning pages. And what the morning pages are is you get up in the morning, just about what time it is now, and you write 3 pages. Doesn't matter what's in it. Doesn't matter if it's, boring to-do list, but it's getting all the crap that's out of your head onto the paper. I like to also call it a brain dump. And then when you get into that practice and you have that consistency, you're able to unlock your creativity, and your morning pages lead to, better writing. But Nike had something right, and it's just do it, And when you start out with a plan, when you start out writing consistently, it becomes a habit. You're going to want to do more of it. But reach out to somebody that has published. There's a lot of different routes you can go. I learned so much during this book of what I would do differently next time. But all in all, it was such an amazing life experience to see something that, so much of what we do, we don't see some tangible result. You might get an award or something, but usually those award trophies go in the trash for me because I don't like clutter. But having a book, something tangible, something that you can give to your great grandkids someday, is something that is to be proud of. So it's really just diving in and just making a commitment and doing it, because it's really easy, especially for writing a book, to kick the can down the road. Keep doing what you're doing, keep, procrastinating, but you don't get any younger as the years go by. And by doing it, that second book, that third book, it's going to be that much closer.
I don't know the exact number because there's so many figures. I don't know which one is right, but it is a small percentage of people not only who start a book, but actually finish that first book, find a way to get from start to finish because of things like procrastination, life getting in the way, especially with COVID, things have been crazy. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of books eventually maybe resurfacing over the years, people who started it halfway, and we'll hear stories about how they made time to do it, making time our most valuable asset. We talked about that today. Are there plans for another book?
I do. Yeah. And what, kind of back to your point, it's even sadder, the number of people that actually read books. So the total population, only 3% of them read books. So they're not buying it for school or whatever. So, but yes, I do actually have a second book. Now, I will say that this is a completely different direction I went. It's more of a memoir. and I was approached to write it. But unlike this first one, where it kind of like was a project, we made progress every month. This book's done right now, but I hate it. So it's kind of getting rewritten.
I can resonate with that. On my first book, Left for Dead, it's my longest book, but we've probably had like 10 rewrites. Every sentence I read, I'm in my head so much where I'm just changing synonyms and changing the order of sentences and all these things. So that was a challenge for me. But of course, as the next couple books arrive, you're prepared, you know what to deal with, you use every learning lesson and apply it to the next book. But where can we find this book online? Where can we find more about you?
Yes, I am on Instagram, Jennifer Weiner. It's Wehner. I know it looks like Wiener, but it is Weiner. It is on Amazon. So the Renaissance Real Estate Agent, Unleash the Art of Systems in Your Real Estate Business. It's also at small bookstores. I am on YouTube, Jennifer Weiner, and you'll see some of my videos from 13 years ago when I started. Weinergroup.com is our website, but usually the social channels are the easiest way to reach out, especially Instagram. I always like to, I reply to every message. So if you see the book, like a book, want to write, thought about getting into real estate, or you're in real estate and want to grow a true business, I really love connecting with people all across the world.
Be sure to check out all she has to offer online. I'm going to connect with her after the show so we can share each other when the show goes live. Thank you for tuning in to our second show here on Writing with Authors. We are also on social media at Writing with Authors, and I am at Vincent A. Lancy on all social media and YouTube. A lot has been condensed into that one page over time just because of the time commitment for social media. I don't want to let anyone down by not promoting the show. So check out that great content and stay tuned for next week's episode, show 3 of the season. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste. It was an honor.